Hello, everyone. I'm here to speak to you about a very big tragedy that's occurred in the world of cinema, and that is of M Night Shyamalan's film The Happening, and the fact that everyone considers it a really bad film, and it's a travesty. It really is.
The first stage is loss of speech.
Claire. Claire?
The second stage is physical disorientation. The third stage is fatal.
Look, I'm no big supporter of M Night Shyamalan, but I will admit the guy's done some pretty original, creative films, and he had a really good run there. I think The Sixth Sense is probably his best. It's awesome. Unbreakable is also almost as good. The Signs I love, and The Village. I thought those four films out of the gate were amazing. Now, they're not perfect, but they're definitely great. They're definitely films that you can watch time and time again, go back to, you always enjoy yourself. And then he fell off the rails a little bit. He did Lady in the Water, and he might have done another film there that I've completely forgotten about. But The Happening I would also include in that those first four as just as good as each other, even maybe as good as The Sixth Sense. Now, no one disputes that The Sixth Sense is a bad film. He's got the same talents that he's used in that film, and he's put it in The Happening. It's a really good idea. If you don't know the story of The Happening, it's basically people in New York just randomly start killing themselves. Their behavior becomes very eerie and very weird, where they start saying the same thing and walking backwards. And then, they just start killing themselves with the closest by way they could.
Jesus.
It's really freaky stuff. I remember when I saw this in the cinema, I was like, holy shit, this is fucking bizarre. Now, the whole idea behind this film is that we don't know. There's things in the world that we just don't know. And I think it's a really good idea. It's a really good theme, and a lot of people laugh at the idea. To spoil the film for you, is that they think what's causing all this happening is basically nature is turning against humanity, because humanity spreads. It's becoming bigger and bigger every year, and the world itself is somewhat of an organism that tries to react, just like white blood cells to a bit of foreign bacteria or a disease. It's trying to eradicate the human element, and to do that it releases some gases. Who knows? It's all not even proven in the film. It's just kind of theorized. They just don't know. It's something out of their control, and it kind of puts Mother Nature as the enemy. And basically, if it decided to turn against us, there'd be nothing we could do. We can't outrun it. It'll always come for us. We have to go. We can even go into the forest. We can go to where no other civilization is, and it will still find us. And I think that's a really freaky aspect. But for some reason, people look at this film and think it's terrible. And I think mainly they don't agree with the rationalization of that Mother Nature is the killer, that trees are killing us, basically, releasing these toxins. And I think a lot of people find that the deaths in it are funny for some reason. I just found them always freaky. I think there was one death, because I've watched this about 6 times, and every time I revisit it, it's always like, oh, it's a bad film, but I want to watch it for some reason. And I always end the film feeling like, that was a really good film, that was really intense. But yeah, for some reason people don't like that twist at the end that nature is basically going to kill us. They think it's stupid, and I don't think it's stupid at all. And I think it's a really good idea that we don't know these things. There's doctors. Everybody goes to the doctor feeling like they know everything. The doctor can read in a book. He can, go off what's happened with another patient or something like that. But there's a lot of cases where they just don't know what's happening with your body. They don't know what caused it. They don't know what's reacting in some way. And all they can do is test and prod and see if they can figure it out. It's a really scary concept, what we don't know.
Take an interest in science. What could be a reason the bees have vanished?
An act of nature, and we'll never fully understand it.
Nice answer, Jake. He's right. Science will come up with some reason to put in the books, but in the end, it'll be just a theory. We will fail to acknowledge that there are forces at work beyond our understanding.
Anyway, there's a number of things I like. Also, people point out, and these are just the standard things when you go, why is it a bad film? They'll say this. They'll point out Mark Wahlberg, and I don't think they thought he was doing a good job acting. But I have to say the contrary, that he was actually really suiting to this role. I don't know if you could have cast anybody else, because the character he's playing is basically a very calm, peaceful soul. They talk about it a lot. You know how M Night Shyamalan likes to reference colours in his films. Like in The Sixth Sense, he always used red as an indicator there was a ghost in the room. If you saw the red colour, he likes to put these little director signatures in this. This one he used it with the idea that different colours represent different moods. And I think he talks about with his little mood ring, and like yellow's something else, but I know that blue's kind of calming, and that's what Mark Wahlberg's supposed to represent. He's a very calming source. All the way he talks is very like, no, we got to do this, guys. You know, there's nothing really hostile or anything else or scared. It's a very strong presence.
Mrs. Jones, could we talk calmly for a second? Just hear me out. See, I'm a teacher.
I can see taken out of context why, what? No, will be kind of funny.
I hear you whispering. Planning on stealing something?
No, ma'am, we're not.
Plan on murdering me in my sleep?
What? No.
And you see it a lot. But I think during the film, I never really thought it was funny. I think it's just, it's something that can be memed. But I thought his performance was really good. And I think it really backs up the kind of character he's supposed to represent in this kind of chaotic world where everything's going to crap and no one knows what to do. He's the one person that's kind of like, all right, guys, let's just calm down. Let's just bring it down and let me figure out this thing. Also, Zoe Deschanel's really good. The child actor's really good. The one who steals the show is John Leguizamo, who is only in it for a little bit, but he's really good. He sells all these scenes really well. It really brings you in. I think it's the point in that film where you're completely absorbed in it. To say the truth, I was absorbed from the get-go when I start seeing people kill each other. And that's another thing. People laughing at the ways that people are killing each other. I never got that because I just felt, I don't know, it's so disturbing seeing people just off themselves and like cutting their wrists as if they're like brushing their teeth or doing their hair. It's such a matter-of-fact tone and waiting for the last end. It's so meaningless. It's so nihilistic, which I think it's just freaky. It's just a great concept and never ceases to bring me chills. Also, the lady at the very end, who I think M Night Shyamalan used in Split, she's really good. That scene when they're at the dinner table and she hits the child's hand and says, you know, make sure you ask for it or something like that. This is my house.
Don't touch things that aren't yours.
There's so many creepy scenes that have done so well and keeps the tension, keeps you right on the edge. And then when she starts going nuts and you feel like they're running out of air. They're going to the smallest corners and it's very claustrophobic like that. I think it's so well made. And I really like the ending when they just say, you know, the hell of it. We accept whatever fate comes our way. And they are actually given the... it's all ended before they can actually die. But it's so well made, and I think the soundtrack to it is really good. I think it's these weird, awkward violin string sounds. But yeah, I'm kind of dumbfounded how people look at this as a bad film because there's so much to take away from it. It's not only just kind of the themes, but it's the idea that we don't have any control and that we won't know everything in the world. Things are too random. Things are too bizarre. They're too out of our... It's like a universe of stuff to know. We can never know it all. But yeah, to laugh at these things, I don't know. I just get annoyed when people say this is a bad film because I don't think it's based on any real solid ground. I think there's far more reasons to why this is a very enjoyable film, depending on whether you're a cynic, whether you love horror, even comedy. Some of the people, I don't think they quite get M Night Shyamalan's comedy. I think when he's talking to that plastic tree in the end, that is a source of comedy.
Talking to a plastic plant. I'm still doing it.
It's not just a stupid thing in the film that's dramatic. No, he knew what he was doing there. Same with the guy that says cheese and crackers. I mean, that's an M Night Shyamalan joke. It's a little speed bump when you're riding through this really thrilling, on the edge of your seat, what's going to happen to him, and then he says cheese and crackers, and it just lightens the mood a little bit. And it's so well paced, this film. I really beg anyone that finds this film to be bad, like, why is it bad? I don't know how you can come up with a coherent argument of why this film is objectively bad. I think acting, storytelling, directing, the shots, cinematography, the sound, the music, it all really works. I'm trying to come up with, things that I didn't like, which is probably, I think, one time when I viewed it, I laughed at one of the deaths. And it's when he's swinging his hand in front of the big tiger. Now, when I watched it the next time, I was expecting to laugh at it again, but I really didn't. I was just like, oh shit, no, that is actually horrific. So yeah, M Night Shyamalan's The Happening. If you are a skeptic, if you've watched it in the past with a bunch of friends that have just laughed at it for the sake of laughing at it, and just to be contrarian, just kind of go against or just to kind of crap on M Night Shyamalan, because I felt like he just entered this period where everyone was like, we've liked him for enough. It's time to crap on him because he did one other bad film. I think The Happening is a real abnormality in his film career. It was when he was starting to make very average stuff, and then he just peaked up really quickly. Because I really didn't like Glass, and Split, I'm mixed on it. I thought it was all right, but The Happening, I will swear by it. A really good film. Try and watch it again. Really good horror, and thanks for watching.